Hello kids! Welcome to our virtual classroom. I am teacher Erica and today we are going to explore another lesson in English. I hope all of you are doing well and great today. For those who love reading stories, you will surely enjoy our topic for today. So let's begin. Have you ever wondered, what if the three little pigs made their houses out of straws? Or what if Snow White did not eat the poisoned apple? What if Little Red Riding Hood did not go to her grandma's house? Or what if the mouse did not help the lion after being trapped with a net? Do you think the ending of each story will be different? Well, I surely think all their endings will be different. So, our lesson for today is all about writing another ending for a story. Did you know that every story has an ending? It can be a happy, sad, or a surprising ending. But most of us, of course, want a happy ending, right? And the good news is, you can actually make your own ending for a story. Do you want to know how? So here are the things that we have to consider in writing another ending for a story. Number 1, analyze the story or situation. Before we can make another ending, first, we have to know what the story is all about by reading it carefully. Number 2 is to match the ending with the story. We have to make sure that the ending is appropriate to the story, or else it will not make sense. Number 3, make your ending interesting to the readers. To be a good writer, we need to be creative and imaginative. Now I have here a story which is entitled The Ant and the Grasshopper. Let me read the story for you. And later, we will try to make another ending for the story. One summer day, a grasshopper met some ants. They were carrying food to their home under the ground. "Good day," said the grasshopper. "Isn't it a fine day?" The ants didn't stop to talk. The grasshopper watched them. Then he said, "It's a lovely day. The sun is shining. The birds are singing. Why do you work so hard? Now is the time to sit under the sun." "No, it isn't," said the ants. "Now is the time to work. We are not lazy. When the winter comes, we will not find any food. We must collect and store our food now." The grasshopper laughed at the ants and lay in the sun listening to the birds. Weeks and months went by. The days became cold. The wind blew and it snowed. Soon, ice covered the fields. It's the start of the winter season. Under the ground, the ants were warm and happy. They had all the food they needed. The grasshopper jumped from place to place. He was looking for a warm, dry home. He was thin, cold, and hungry. He went to the ants and asked for some food. "Oh no," said the ants. "You sang all summer. So this winter season, you will starve." Those are really mean ants for sure. Do you think the story ended happily? Obviously, the story did not end well for the grasshopper. But as I said a while ago, we can actually make another ending for the story. If you are to give another ending for the story, The Ant and the Grasshopper, how will you end it? If I am given the chance to write another ending for the story, this is going to be my answer. The grasshopper went to the ants and asked for help. The ants welcomed him inside their nest. The ants gave him food and he felt so much better. The grasshopper thanked the queen and the ants for saving his life, and they all became friends. The next summer, the grasshopper learned his lesson and started helping the ants gather food for the winter season. Do you think this ending is way better from the previous one? I definitely think so. This time, I want you to get your pen and paper and try to answer this activity. All you need to do is to read each situation and provide another ending for it. Let's begin with the first one. Justin and his friends were excited about going to the beach. They set up their chairs and towels. Then a wind picked up. Justin looked up and saw big gray clouds. They still went to the beach, but did not enjoy it because of the weather. Now, if you're going to change the ending of this story or situation, how will you end it? You may pause this video while answering. Now, let me share with you my answer. Justin and his friends just decided to go back home and watch Netflix instead. How about the second one? Paulo's science teacher told the class to bring some materials for their experiment the next day. When he arrived home, instead of preparing his materials, he just decided to play video games with his cousins. The next day, he forgot to bring the materials needed, and so their teacher got mad. He became furious and walked out of the classroom. Again, you may pause this video while writing your answer. Now let me share you mine. Paulo humbly apologized to his teacher and borrowed some materials from his classmates so he could still do the activity. I think this is way better than the previous one. Last situation. Sarah was very excited for her long-awaited vacation. She prepared all the things needed before her flight. She booked a taxi and arrived at the airport, not knowing that her ticket was left inside her drawer. She got very disappointed, went home, and canceled her vacation. Now this is my answer. Sarah bought a new ticket so she can still enjoy her vacation. Well, that's a good ending for Sarah, I guess. Were you able to finish our activity? Good job! Now for our last activity, let us read another story entitled The Greedy Dog. Well, what do we mean by the word greedy? Greedy means someone who has a selfish desire for something. A dog lived in a village. He was always looking for something to eat because he was very greedy. He always wandered here and there to search for food, never filled his stomach. One daytime, he was wandering around in search of food as usual, but he could not find food anywhere. At last, he saw a piece of meat outside a hotel. He quickly grabbed that piece in the mouth and thought to go somewhere and have fun eating it. While searching for a place to be alone, he reached a river. The dog looked at the river and saw another dog in the water with a piece of meat in its mouth. He thought of getting the meat too, not knowing that it was only his reflection. He barked loudly at it and accidentally fell into the water. He lost sight of the reflection and also lost his food. I think the ending of the story was very sad for the dog. If he was not selfish and greedy, he will definitely not lose it. If you are to give another ending for the story, The Greedy Dog, how will you end it? After writing your answer, you may share it with your English teacher. Now let's have a recap. Writing another ending for a story helps us improve our creativity and writing skills. It can also help us expand and develop our imagination, which is relevant to become good storytellers and authors. I hope you learned something today. Thank you so much for watching and keep safe, everyone.